This ministry has been going for 6 years. I've been here for 6 years. Dawn's been here for 4. We tried having church services, and there was not a good response to that. But there was always a need. People would walk by the church and come in if I was here and ask if we could help them. So we had a company that got in touch with us, and after the third email of me deleting it, I said, well, God must be saying something. So I contacted the company, and in order for us to keep the Compassionate Ministry Center going and funded, we do that by collecting shoes. We get 100 bags of shoes, which each bag has 25 pairs in it that are not brand new, but they have to be wearable. They will clean them. They'll take any kind of shoes, boots. They'll take tennis shoes, sandals, pumps. It doesn't really matter. They'll take any kind of shoes as long as they're in wearable condition. So we bag those up, and a company comes from Florida, picks them up, and they pay us a poundage. The shoes are then sent on to a third world country where they set up micro enterprises for people who have maybe never had a pair of shoes in their life. So we felt like it was a win-win for us. We were helping other people in other countries, but yet it was helping to fund the center too. We minister to roughly 240 families a month. That's just through food. We live in a very transient town, being close to West Virginia, and we have a lot of people who are lower income who they just tend to move. We have a connection with Head Start. The teachers down there will call when a child comes in and maybe has a hole in their shoe or needs a winter coat, and we provide all that stuff. They send the people up, and we just give them a bag and tell them just go through and get what you need. We have a quarter sale, but it's actually a quarter donation sale for the clothing. And the only reason we did that was because people want to have some sense of dignity. They don't want a handout. And so they came up with this idea of doing a donation. I think the thing that's unique about us is when I first moved to town was the town is very closed in their fellowship of ministry. And when I would go to a meeting, they would report how many $10 gas cards they give out. And I just really felt at that point that isn't how the Lord wanted to use this ministry. He wanted us to be able to give to those who are in need. But I just believe that if we're going to be the hands and feet of Jesus to people, we have to trust in God that we're doing the right thing. So that's kind of what we based the entire ministry on. If we have it, it's theirs. I want to see more done for the kingdom. I want to do as much as I can to help people so that someday they'll look back on that. You know, we don't have a church here right now, but I tell people when they ask, well, what about church? And I'll say, find a good church that believes in Jesus dying on the cross and ask Him to forgive your sins and confess your sins. And it doesn't really matter which church you go to. And I think a lot of people have been really surprised because most places, there's a condition. If you're going to get this, you have to come to church. And they have a freedom here.